Hiya guys, it's Alex here outside the Etihad ahead of Manchester City's tabletop clash with Chelsea. It's the first meeting between Pep Guardiola and Antonio Conte. We haven't won here in 3 games. Guardiola has named his team. He's going to try and make amends, get us back to winning ways. There is an anxious mood around the Etihad today. That's why I need some positivity. Are you confident of a win? Throw a like right now on the video. Let's get it going. Let's get some atmosphere. Let's get some feel-good action going. I'm going to run through the team, then we're going to go through your comments. So get comments with your questions. We've got Claudio Bravo starting in goal, and then it is a back 3 today, no 4. We've got John Stones on the right of the back 3, Nicholas Otamendi down the middle, and Alexander Kolarov keeps his place on the left-hand side of a back 3. And then Guardiola has gone for 6 in midfield. So Fernandinho and Ilkay Gundogan further back. That lets Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva both in the middle of a 4-man line of attack, where you've got Jesus Navas on the right and Leroy Sané on the left, and Sergio Aguero roaming at number 9. And on the bench today, we've got Willy Caballero, Pablo Zabaleta, Bakary Sagna, Gael Clichy, Yaya Toure, Fernando and Kelechi Iheanacho. So loads to talk through. Chelsea, I've been getting all sorts of plaudits from every commentator going about how they're making 3 at the back work, and Guardiola is going to mimic it. He is playing a 6-man midfield. We're going to try and swamp Chelsea today. You're going to see Sané and Navas. Navas will play. I don't think too many of us expect to start, but they're going to try and pull that back 3 apart and let De Bruyne and let David Silva just have a go at David Luiz and force him into mistakes and twists and turns. And hopefully we're going to see some really positive attacking football. Chelsea struggled away at Spurs, at home to Spurs last weekend. Manchester City, can we go one better and come away with 3 points? I want to hear from you. Let me know your immediate team thoughts. Get your questions in. We're going to be running through it again. If anybody hasn't heard the team, if you just joined us, Bravo is in goal. It's 3 at the back. Stones, Otamendi and Kolarov, with Fernandinho and Gundogan pushed ahead, both in that sort of holding midfield role, with Navas, Sané, Silva, De Bruyne in a 4-man line of attack behind Sergio Aguero. And on the bench, Caballero, Zabaleta, Sagna, Clichy, Yaya Toure, Fernando and Iheanacho. One of the first things that jumps out at me is no Raheem Sterling, not even in the 18. We're not sure if he's being rested for that effectively dead rubber against Celtic in the week, or is it he's fallen out with Guardiola? Is he just being rested altogether? Is there an injury he maybe picked up this morning? We don't know. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about that as the day goes on. Fernando was impeccable last week at Burnley, possibly man of the match, certainly was for me. He doesn't make the side, he's dropped to the bench for Gundogan preferred. Yaya Toure came back against Palace, was superb, looked good last week against Burnley, hasn't done enough to earn himself a place. I'm sure we'll see him in the Celtic game, but no place for him in the starting 11 today. Alright, let's go through some questions then. I want to hear from you. Get involved. If you've just joined us, I am freezing my knackers off. I need a wee. It's a very windy day. If that isn't worth a like, I don't know what is. I'll let the questions load up now. I think 3 at the back, you're looking at Chelsea, they like pulling teams apart. Pedro was superb last week. Moses has been in impeccable form. They've got Marcos Alonso bombing down the left. There's a lot of work there for John Stones on that right-hand side. Is he going to be exposed? Are we going to see Otamendi throwing himself into challenges? Both Zabaleta and Sagna are on the bench. There's opportunities there. It doesn't work out for Pep to throw back into 4, but we'll see as the game goes on. Alberto Meccano, don't know what people are not confident about here. We are playing Chelsea, they are top of the league. They have been probably and deservedly the strongest side in the league and one of the most consistent. Lots of people talk about have faith in Pep. Matt Rogers asked why Kolarov. I think he's a player that's come in for a lot of criticism over the last few weeks, of course the last couple of seasons, but who else do you play on that left hand side? Do you play Sagna in a back 3 and move Stones onto the left? Company's out injured. And then who else have you got really? I think if it's going to be anyone on that left-hand side, Clichy maybe, but does Clichy do the work in the middle of the pitch? I can see why Pep has gone for Kolarov. Lots of positivity about Leroy Sané starting. Lots of excitement over him. He's not really had the starts that we were hoping for. Is today the day we're going to see a big performance from him? He's had a couple of moments when he's come off the bench, but I want to see him dominate again. I want to see him go by the scruff of the net and show no nerves today, no tentativeness. I want to see him getting involved in amongst it, taking shots, taking chances, taking players on, and most importantly, running at Gary Cahill and David Luiz, players that maybe haven't got the pace that Sané can match, and creating opportunities for Navas on that right-hand side as well to run riot. Lots of people saying, where is Sterling? Again, we're not really sure. Not in the 18, not on the bench, not in the starting lineup. Maybe he's being rested, maybe he's picked up a knock in training. We've not really heard too much about him in the build-up. That's an interesting one. And of course, we don't need to rest players for that Celtic game on Tuesday night. It is a dead rubber. We could play 11 youth team players if we wanted to. David Luiz is going to have a nightmare today. He's been in good form, but we know him from the past. He's got mistakes in him. Let's hope we can see one of those today. Score predictions. I don't really like making score predictions. A, because I'm terrible at it, and B, it feels like tempting fate. I want to say City are going to win today. I'm not sure if that's head or I'm not sure if that's heart. I'm going to back City. I think Chelsea will score at some point, but I'm going to say 3-1. Let me know if I'm wrong. Correct me. Get involved in the scores. Your predictions. Am I being too confident? Am I being too anxious? Maybe we're going to win 5-0. Maybe we're going to lose 5-0. Who knows? We've not won here in 3 games. Teams don't like winning in Manchester. We've drawn the last 3. United have drawn the last 4. Omar Lasker asked, who's getting sent off first, Costa or Otamendi? I think it's a race. I'd love to see what the book has got to say. It's going to be a fiery one. Guardiola and Conte have been very polite about each other in the build-up to this game, but City and Chelsea, there is a little bit of history there. These games have usually got a little bit of fire, a little bit of excitement in them, and I think we could see someone getting into trouble today. In a big game with Kevin De Bruyne, yeah, I mean, he's not been quiet for the last few weeks, but we didn't see him against Burnley, he didn't start. I'd like to see him grab some headlines today. A little bit of negativity about 3 at the back. Sean Flicker's made a good point. Will Fernandinho move to right back? I think we could see that perhaps. I think that will definitely help us out. And I think it might be one of these ones that we've seen a couple of times this season where Pep has basically played 2 different formations. One we've got the ball, one we haven't. I think we probably will see 4 at the back when Chelsea have got the ball there on the attack, move into that 6-man midfield when we have got the ball and are hoping to dominate the midfield. I'm going to run through the team one more time. We've got Claudio Bravo starting in goal. John Stones starts on the right-hand side of a back 3. Nico Otamendi is down the middle, and Alexander Kolarov is on the left side of that back 3. Fernandinho and Gundogan in the holding role. You've then got Navas on the right, Leroy Sané on the left, De Bruyne and Silva both at 10, both in their best position, hopefully creating chance after chance for Sergio Aguero, who sits up top. Willy Caballero starts on the bench. Zabaleta, Sagna, Clichy, Yaya Toure, Fernando and Iheanacho are the players who joined him. Fernando has been dropped to the bench, Yaya Toure has been dropped to the bench, and there is no place in the squad for Raheem Sterling. I'm going to go through one more question and then we're going to wrap up. Costa and Fernandinho, beef thoughts. That did flare up in the last couple of games. I think Fernandinho has got something to prove. But Diego Costa is back in form. I think Fernandinho has been impeccable for us all season, and I expect to see the same to him again. And Mr. Gamer Boy is a Celtic fan. Thanks for joining us, doing a little bit of scouting for Brendan, I'm sure. Get back to us. All right, Blues, get your score predictions down in the comments. If you can't make it to the Etihad today, let us know where in the world you're watching the game. The comment section is there for a reason. And if you haven't already, make sure you throw it a like. I'm going to be right on this spot after the game, getting the opinion from the people who matter most, the supporters. So check back here after the game. You don't want to miss out. There's always some good stuff going on. My name's Alex. This is BlueMoonRisingTV. I'll see you later on. Come on, City.